Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 58 of Task Force Unlikely Oath. First of all, thank you for subbing again, Jay. Second of all, hello and welcome. If this is your first episode of Task Force Unlikely, a lot has happened. There are 57 other episodes.
Yeah, you're a little ahead of yourself.
So
You're a
this
little behind
Yeah.
by like 3 years.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy, but a lot of this might not make sense. I suggest going to YouTube and watching our playlist. But immediately in the last time, Task Force Unlikely went to Mithril Hall and Cinderbeard Manor and kicked the shit out of an old man who turned into an evil pillar of fire. And then they beat up the evil pillar of fire. Releasing Clan to Cinderbeard from a curse placed on it by said evil old man. Oh, no, wrong button. That's fine. And then they received a summons to appear in court, Hell Court, for Navira and Asmodeus. As backstory to that, Navira is a former soldier in the Blood War who served Zariel, the Lord of the First, and before she decided to before she changed her ways with Task Force Unlikely, and eventually briefly gained the powers of a god and obliterated both Tiamat and Zariel in the first layer of Hell. So I can't imagine why Asmodeus is upset. So the summons tells you all to go back to the that torture room that you found a couple episodes ago in the city of Waterdeep.
So hear me out. What if we don't?
If we don't, then the armies
is
of
an
the
option.
first will invade Waterdeep, and they will show no mercy.
Okay, but I'm pretty sure they've tried that before.
Hello, Inkwell and Ironclad. Hi. So are any of you licensed to practice Hell Law?
Just dial tone.
All right, no help from Inkwell and Ironclad.
Like, I don't really have a choice here. See, even if they had failed to invade Waterdeep at this point, and even if they tried again, I'm not putting thousands of innocent civilians at risk just to save my sorry ass. At this point, it really is going to be one hell of a sorry ass.
Like your sorry ass.
I
I mean, I
know,
like
Kaw.
all of you too, but like, I don't know why we're focusing on that.
No comment. So, do you have any idea? Like, do we have any legal representation that we could bring, or anyone who could maybe vouch for us? Because look, I know quite a bit about religion and such, but I don't know if I'm equipped to practice Hell Law.
I mean, we could go ask Narshinda.
Oh, that would be a very good idea. Ring ring, hello. This is the sound sending makes now. Narshinda, Navira is going on hell trial. Any advice or help you can give us? Question mark.
Fang. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, could you just not?
Yee!
You see, we had considered that, but then they might try to invade Waterdeep.
Right. 25
Might be some
rights.
gold in it for you. If you are you a hell lawyer?
He says, I'm more of like a butler, really. I can make pizza rolls.
One of these days, we're just gonna get to sit down and have a nice visit, and it's not gonna be anything terrible happening. We're just gonna chat, and it's gonna be lovely.
That
I'll
sounds
pass
good.
that message on.
I have Yahoo. Yoo-hoo.
All right. Is this court gonna be an infernal? Because I don't speak that language.
Most likely.
So time for you to prepare, comprehend languages or tongues or... I forget if that's a spell I can actually use.
Probably.
It is a spell I can use.
Andy, how long do we have before we have to be present?
You have a day.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
I'm going to unprepare Flame Strike, because I have a feeling that won't work against devils, and I'm going to prepare Tongues. So I can speak criminal. I mean infernal. Whatever, same thing.
Hey.
Sorry if you're... I was actually quite bigoted. I apologize.
Andy, is there any way that I can contact Al?
I have sending.
Sending.
Would that work?
Sure.
You can always try.
Can you give me a description of Al?
Oh, God. I mean, there you go. Yeah. He is...
There's a temple to him in Waterdeep.
Oh, Al.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said Al, like
Yeah.
A-L.
No. No,
Like-
Al...
I don't think you can send a sending message to the universe, like the universe itself. I don't know if that's a thing you can do.
You tried?
It's like so above us that I don't think we really...
You tried.
Well, he's not so above us that he's not appearing in my dreams.
Wait, what?
Oh, I didn't tell you guys about
No,
that?
you
Yeah,
didn't tell us about that.
Neat.
after the whole God thing happened, yeah, sometimes he's there. And I talk to him. And we're both very confused about it.
That is an
So-
accurate description.
So he's like your god therapist.
No, he's my god. We got put in this room together and neither of us know why we're here. Buddy.
Okay, so not even the universe itself understands it.
No.
Okay, so see, sometimes you maybe want to tell these things to the two high priests that you know, and also
Well, do you have
the
any
demigod
idea
that
why
you
it's
know.
happening?
Can I make a religion check?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll make a religion check, try to figure out the thing that God doesn't know.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I got a 20. I got a dirty 20, so who knows?
I mean, yeah, so from what you know, Navira was briefly a god. Ao is the boss of gods. They had a connection. It's probably that.
I guess Ao's your boss now. Oh, so you do have a paladin deity. That makes more sense.
Navira kind of resents the idea of her abilities coming from Ao and not from her own, like, inner rage.
Well, they certainly Yeah, they don't, because you had them well before you met him. So they certainly come from that infinite fuel pool of rage.
All right. I'm going to use my divine guidance feature, or my divine intervention feature.
Okay.
I know it's a long shot, but Moradin, if you're listening,
Came through last time.
yeah, he really
Really
did.
did.
He really did. He really helped out last time.
There was that spell that Kaw cast that I let you use to talk to Gale's dad.
There was.
You could try and use that as well. I can't
Moradin.
remember what it is called.
Please tell
I know
us
the
I
spell I
think
need
it
to remember
starts
which
with a
one
C.
it is.
Is it commune, maybe?
I think so.
Please tell us how to get out of this legal
Yep.
predicament without anyone here losing their souls or the devils invading Waterdeep. Oh. Okay, well,
Guys are on the floor. We're off to a good start.
Yep. I mean, the tens dice was a 7, and the other one rolled off the floor, so that's
Okay.
not gonna happen. Unless you're gonna allow me to roll again because it fell off the table.
Hey, what are the odds you get it again? You can roll again.
Holy shit!
I don't.
I got a 7.
Okay.
Andy, you
Just,
gotta stop doing that.
I know.
I got a 7, so that worked. I don't want to say I'm Morden's favorite, but like
He likes you a lot.
He does like me. He's real.
I
he's a
mean, you
real
did
fan.
do a huge fucking solid with that killing your granddad thing.
Hey, you got to kill your granddad and an avatar of MX all at the same time.
No, I got a 7.
So, okay, you have to hold on. Let me look up the divine intervention feature. You have to request something. You can't just be like, "Hey, help." It has to be a little more specific.
In that case, can I use that roll and then activate it during the trial? Is that an option I have?
Get a really good lawyer for this.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. Can
Ask
you
for
send us like
recommendations.
Can you send us like a divine lawyer? That's a great idea.
The
Hey.
god of lawyers.
Hey, Andy, invent an NPC for us.
Great. Yeah, I can do that real fast. Hold on.
And that's an NPC that is going to directly affect the outcome of the game.
Like it's a Valkyrie with a briefcase, basically.
Okay, hold on.
You work for Tyr, huh? Yep. It's a very Tyr thing to have a lawyer,
Okay.
like just a divine lawyer.
So yeah, so you feel the warmth, the warm, friendly hand of Moradin on your shoulder once again.
I
And
can't believe that worked twice.
some time passes. A couple minutes later, there's a knock on the door, and a heavenly little dwarf, a heavenly looking dwarf, angelic wings, briefcase, says they're here to handle your case.
All right, not gonna lie, very shocked that worked. Like genuinely surprised. Nice to
Damn.
meet you. I'm Tarbek. This is Navira. Kaw, Gayle.
One of these days, I should probably start asking Corlin for stuff.
Cut to Corlin with sunglasses and just like a bottle of whiskey. Sup?
Not much.
I'll help.
What's your name?
His name is Morkel.
All right, Morkel.
Navira's gonna look at Tarbek and be like, if I'm acquitted, I owe Warden like a generous offering.
Hey, you know what? It's always appreciated. You can throw it into your nearest volcano. I'm only half kidding.
It's a good thing we know someone who's invested in volcano real estate.
Well, who do
Have
we
you
know?
considered volcano real estate?
How many times are you going to use that line?
Yes. I'm sorry. Ugh, I.
Don't ever change
These
it,
are
Kaw.
the jokes.
Guys, the power of Kenku's is you have a character who can speak entirely in references to the campaign.
Comes in very handy when we're trying to remember things.
It's true. Navira, why don't you explain your case to Morkel here? I'll brew us some tea, I guess.
All right, yeah. So I'm going to sit down with this dwarf lawyer and give him the entire story. I'm also going to give him quite a bit of background regarding kind of the blood war in the Hells, and I don't know if necessarily Navira knows how like devilish law works, but I'm going to guess that she's seen like a couple of like executions and court-martialings
court
in her
martials
case, so
for sure. Yeah.
She'll give that. Yeah, she also like she has a very, very, very deep suspicion in her gut that this trial isn't going to be fair. If there's one thing the devils aren't, it's fair.
Yeah.
And judging by the fact that like she was a high-profile fugitive even before she killed Zariel and before she killed Tiamat, and if Asmodeus wants, like, you know, if the devils want someone dead, they can kill them. So it's not just that Asmodeus wants her dead; he wants to make like an example out of her. If it was just as simple as wanting her dead, they'd have killed her.
Right. Yeah. The lawyer agrees.
And tried.
And says
Sure.
certainly that Asmodeus has some ulterior motive. There is no way he is doing this simply to give you a trial and even a fair chance to get off. He says, I mean, it's hard to argue that devil society works on killing superior devils. It doesn't really. Why does Asmodeus care that you killed Zariel? Like it's just how this stuff works. So he will consider everything you said, and he says he will do his best to represent you. But certainly you all will have to represent yourselves well as well, and that almost certainly Navira is going to be called to the stand.
I just out of character. I just realized that I rolled a 7 on my last one too. The last time I did this.
Lucky number 7.
I don't mean to be that guy, but
okay. The dwarf angel will kind of rooting around in his briefcase. He pulls out like a sword and some radiant longbow, and he kind of keeps searching around for brief papers, and he starts taking notes.
a scabbard for that.
Yeah, the briefcase.
Oh,
just puts it back
was
in
that
the briefcase.
a briefcase of holding?
Well, yes.
It's quite intuitive, actually.
Okay. So Saint Morkel will help you in court. Help in court.
By the way, Inkwell and Ironclad, I'm assuming they're some of your guys. Phenomenal.
They do excellent work, especially in the family court room. This is a little outside of their expertise.
Yeah. Oh, they're great with family court. Yep.
So let's see. Is there
It
any?
makes news. The house smells like cookies because Kaw has started stress baking.
Yeah. So now everyone's got tea and cookies. It's great.
Yeah,
Gayle, do you think there's anything that? I know you're technically I don't know if you're okay with me using the term demigod or if that's like, is that like offensive?
No. But, I mean, I'm not really anything. Like, I don't really have any powers or, you
I
know.
thought you might have some sway in a hell courtroom.
I mean, I only found out that my dad's a god like 3 months ago, so I highly doubt that. And, like, I don't think he's high up on anybody's list of cool people I can use for clout. He's kind of useless, was what I'm saying. Just all over.
All right, putting a pin in that for now then. Always free to talk about your issues with your dad if you ever need someone to. Anyways,
Nope.
okay. You are a big book of secrets, aren't you?
Yeah.
You may rely on it.
Okay. Is there...
as contradictory as it may seem, Navira does want to go to the Temple of Ale. Just like as a Hail Mary, because this is going to turn nasty no matter what she does, and any foot forward she can get, she's going to take. And it's a very, like, uncomfortable visit, too, because, Navira's limited experience with religion is, Kaw and Tarbek's gods, both of whom are very unconventional, and so coming into this temple of a very traditional god, she's like, what am I supposed to do here?
Let me see what... I kind of remember them wearing something weird. Hold on, let me see if I can find a Priest of Ao art.
Even know AO had priests. Thought it was like above that.
They dress weird. They're not my favorite dressed, but they're among them. It's the black and white guy.
Oh, nice.
So very, very, very like kind of gothic musketeer.
Nice. I'm into it. It's a good look.
Cool.
I love this book. This book has some ridiculous art. Hold on, I'll show you my favorite. The Priest of Grumbar. Look how wide he is.
Oh, he's got some girth.
Yeah.
Stuff with.
Oh, wow.
So,
We have very wide doors in our temple.
Yeah. I can't even remember what Grumbar is the god of. I think he's Earth. Okay. So, yeah.
With.
The god of width. Okay. So yeah, so you find the temple. It's really small, and it's just got that guy in it. It's on it's surprisingly like on the Avenue of Lesser Gods. Like, he doesn't really have a lot of direct worshippers because he kind of. It's like rooting for the referee in a sports game. Like, he doesn't really do anything for people. He arbitrates rules. And also, apparently, according to this, which is from 2nd edition, if you're a cleric of him, you don't get any spells from him. So that's helpful.
Rooting for the referee in a sports game. I'm sure Sixers fans know about that.
The black and white stripes are my favorite team. They're in every game.
They're dominant. But yeah, so
I don't have chat open. If Marty responds to that, let me know.
I don't know if I don't think Marty's here
Apparently
tonight.
he's not around,
Nah,
so...
Yeah, I don't think he's here
Darn
tonight.
it.
Okay,
Someone
see...
clip that of Dan dabbing and just send it to Marty.
Okay. So yeah, but the priest introduces himself as Vincent, and he asks how he may assist you.
God, I don't know how to explain this. Can I talk to Ale? Is there a way to do that?
He says, "Well, we pray to the Lord of Lords. He does not often answer direct prayers, but if you go in there, we have an altar and incense, and you light a candle, and on holy days and other divine occasions, he will speak to us."
Navira almost turns and walks right out the door at the concept of praying.
Okay.
But she's like, all right. She like bites it down and is like, all right, I can do this. Thanks. And then walks to the room looking just incredibly uncomfortable.
Okay.
And so yeah, she'll kneel down in the best approximation like of praying, and it's like against almost every instinct because it's almost blasphemous in the religious tradition in which she was raised. So even though she has besmirched that religion, she's still very much like, this just feels wrong, and I don't like it. But yeah, so she'll kneel down and she'll be like, all right, hey, it's me. I know that you don't understand what's happening with this connection any more than I do. But you understand the gods a lot more than I do. Apparently you make their rules, and some insight into their rules I think would be helpful in this situation, I'm not gonna lie. Shit's about to hit the fan. Ooh, boy. She's just like swallowing down anxiety attack bile. Yeah, that's her prayer.
Yeah. The room is filled with a bright light, and Ao steps out of the candle smoke, and he says, "It is good to see you again, Navira. No, I don't understand this connection, but I hope I understand you and would like to help you."
Oh, thank fuck somebody does. Yeah, do you know situation?
He says yes.
Okay, good. Good to know how far the omnipotence thing goes. So yes, I guess as the arbitrator of the interactions between the gods, I'm about to go up against arguably the worst one, having killed basically his right-hand devil, and then just left, and then just kind of left them to do whatever they want, which was fighting, most assuredly. But yeah, this is not going to be fair. It's not going to... It's rigged. It's rigged against me. There's, like, if I am going to find my way out of this and basically stop the hells from making an example out of me and everyone I love, then I have to be crafty about this. I have to be tricky. And I don't really know what to do.
Ao says, as you have often said yourself, such is the way of devils. He says, in this manner, the manner in which you are being addressed is devil business. It's unfortunately not God business. Asmodeus is acting as ruler of the Nine, not as the lord of tyranny. He's kind of just a generic god of evil. He says, but I think you know how devils think. And you're right. They are going to make an example. So you just have to out-devil their bullshit?
Navira seems pleasantly surprised by the fact that he cursed. She's like, okay, good. Well, I guess that's, what I've been planning. It's good to know that it's not entirely batshit crazy. Fuck. Fuck. I didn't want to have to.
Yep. Oh, come on. Hold on.
In the middle of a really important monologue.
She was role playing so hard.
Mute. Back to TFU. Okay, there we go. Okay. You were saying, Navira.
Yeah, so Navira is at this point just kind of like trying not to descend into absolute panicked laughter. But she's like, I didn't want to have to think like a devil or act like a devil or be a devil ever again. That was the whole point. But if that is the only way to win, if it's the only way to never have to do it again, then I don't see any others.
He thinks for a minute, and he says, it's hard to see things from people's point of view sometimes for me. I see the big picture. I don't have a lot of inner focus. And I understand what you're saying. And you have overcome a lot by not thinking like devils anymore. You and your friends. And I think you can do this without thinking like devils as well, if that would be not only the moral but literal victory. I can't really see the future. That's not my deal. But I know you can do this.
That's surprisingly reassuring. I hope we get to talk again.
I do too.
Thanks. I'm probably not going to come back here.
I understand. Kind of looking around. This temple sucks, by the way. I was reading about it in the little book. It because he doesn't have enough worshippers, most of it is now like rented space for storefronts and stuff. so it's just like in the back of a little bazaar. There's probably like some kind of like club meeting like right next door. You're talking to
Fear's been in a broom closet this whole time.
Yeah, with like the god of gods, and they're talking about model trains.
If we
stall
win
over
this trial, Tarbek will build an entirely new temple.
Well, he had a big nice temple and no one came, so they just turned it into a different space.
Yeah.
For that one priest.
Mm-hmm.
They just live in this big old fucking temple.
It's a really sad priest.
Rental prices being what they are, it makes sense economically.
Yeah.
I was gotta have a side hustle for those rent hikes in Waterdeep.
It's not a cheap city to live in.
No. Alright, well, I see no other course but just fucking do this.
Okay. So. Okay. Would anyone else like to do anything? Otherwise, we are going to do this.
I will ask, do we know what she's being sued for?
Okay, yes. So it is, she broke an oath.
Huh?
And it is alleging that she murdered both Zariel and Tiamat.
Okay, like, is that really a crime in hell, though? Like,
if Asmodeus says it is, then...
devils do that, like, all the time, though. Like,
yes,
come on.
But... he's the big rat that makes all of the rules, so...
Yeah, but, like... come on, though.
I think you can at least argue to manslaughter.
That's what I was thinking.
A reduced sentence is not what we're going for here.
No?
Yeah, a reduced
I'm
sentence is
misreading
like
the room.
decapitation instead of burning alive, basically.
Well, I was also, because I was just trying to figure out, because I know way back when Navira first broke her oath, technically she didn't break her oath, at least not until she killed Zarya. So we could argue that she has not technically broken her oath, because she still has all her paladin powers.
But I broke her oath. I dispelled
When did this happen?
it.
Oh yeah.
I dispelled it. I did a whole incantation and everything. So, don't get me wrong, I can take the fall for this. I've lived a long life, but just, I'd like to say
You're
goodbye
not
to
the
my
one on
family
trial here, Tarbek. And also, it doesn't matter what the charges are. There's usually only one sentence in hell, and it's death.
But, I mean, if hell's all about lawful evil, not following the law that, admittedly, he set up. But if he's still not following it, that means he's breaking it, which means he's actually the one should be on trial, and we could countersue him. Like, I'm trying to be a lawyer here.
We're gonna look to the divine lawyer.
Do it.
Morkel.
He nods like, yeah, no, that makes sense.
Because, as Tarbek said, technically Navira did not break her oath. He did, and he is not the one on trial. She is the one they're putting on trial.
What about those other two charges?
I mean, Tiamat was what, a prisoner?
So it's a war crime,
Also, if you hadn't, Raceland would have, and that's arguably worse.
You can argue self-defense for Tiamat.
You went into her house.
Yeah, I teleported right in front of her, and then I made her feel every single bit of pain I've ever felt, and then I killed her.
Yeah. Now with Tiamat, you had accomplices. You could argue something with that.
don't know.
They
Do you
were
have any? Do you
revenge
have
You were
anyone?
technically
laws,
hired to
you
do a
law.
job.
Is there anyone unscrupulous that you think you could throw under the bus? You know,
Raceland.
Absolutely.
All our mini art characters.
oh my god.
No,
Yeah,
poor Grieve.
Arthur's definitely going to hell jail.
Because that's how you sort of trip up doubles. They'll set up the rules, but by its own design, they have to follow their rules that they then set up. So
Yeah.
technically, we have to hold them to the letter of the law.
Regicide is not a crime in hell. If anything, regicide is like, good job, you did a regicide. It's like, if killing your superiors is very much looked on positively from my limited understanding of hell.
It's not looked on positively. It's more of a like, oh, this person has more power now. We follow them. They're not praised for doing it. They're respected, but not praised.
That is an excellent way to put it.
Does anyone get praised in hell, though?
In a way,
I rest my case.
it's more of a like bloody sacrifices and offerings. Not like, good job, you get a sticker.
I really hope those weird fire newts aren't making any offerings to me.
Oh, they most assuredly are.
No, I cut it because I couldn't figure out how to do it. But no, it turns out they were worshipping the wrong Firebeard because they should have been worshipping your great-grandfather because he actually brought Imix to the Prime Material Plane.
Oh, that makes so much sense. So so Tarbek is like their Antichrist, basically.
Yes, basically, yes.
Even if we do try to trip these devils up on the letter of the law, I think we're going to run into a problem like Kaw said, where Asmodeus is the law, and he is the one putting me on trial. Now, that's not to say that there aren't ways to trick or outmaneuver him. It'd be very difficult, and I can't think of any off the top of my head right now, but yeah, it's my...
I have a few, but they're all real reaches. Like, real reach. I'm talking way out there.
Navira has been battling with like a stomach ache ever since this letter got here.
I have some ginger
Cookies
here.
would not
if you want
help.
it. I meant like root ginger, but I could totally picture
I just
Navira
swallowed it whole.
Yeah, sure, that'll help an upset stomach. Didn't even peel it or anything, huh?
Here, you're supposed to peel it. Just gnawing it raw.
And where's all the dirt flavor?
It's B12.
It's better than the blood flavor.
Oh, beets. No, they also taste like dirt.
You guys know you're supposed to wash root vegetables before you eat them, right?
Wait, what?
Okay.
When I
Navira
boil
does
them, it
that.
should just look
Navira
like
does
mud.
it.
I mean, dwarves do, but we don't really like... It's like we're gonna eat tons of dirt anyways, almost by accident, so we almost like don't think about it.
It's seasoning for them.
Yeah. It's like we'll wash them, but like not because of the dirt. It's like, it could be pesticides on there.
Completely apropos of nothing. Did you know that silence is a ritual spell?
No, I didn't.
No.
Seems quite good.
Don't worry about it.
Great.
You know what also sucks? majorly about this situation is that I don't know what bullshit they're gonna throw at me. So I'm going into this practically blind, which is why I'm glad you're here. And she's gonna point to the lawyer.
Kind of adjusts his glasses. Yes, I am here to help.
Good.
He says, I also don't know what they're going to throw at us.
Yes, but you have experience.
You have experience, right?
Yes.
I should hope so. He was sent by Morden.
See if I
He's my
failed,
nephew. It's going to be cool. Just give him a chance, everybody.
See if I had failed my check, they would have sent an article, just an article student.
Okay. Why do I have that open? Okay. Okay. Is there anything else? Okay, perfect.
Continue trying to not panic.
Okay. So, the next day, pardon me, you all head to the former cult house of Zariel slash secret torture chamber of Asmodeus in Waterdeep. There is that there's that little room, and it the last time you were here, it had like a ruby crystal thing that you knocked that Navira threw a javelin at and knocked down and broke. In its place is now a hooded gentleman who nods and says that if you are prepared, he will begin the process of getting you all to the court. And he casts a series of spells. Now, as we have established, you can't teleport into hell. So you don't think you're going into hell currently. Or if you are, you're going to some kind of way station. But he teleports you. And you appear in a large, dark red and black, extravagant courtroom. Bunch of pews. Big judges. Altar stand thing. Jury boxes. And you all appear in the defense area. Looking across, you can see that in the prosecution is a series of these ink devils, for lack of a better term. These little devils made of ink, kind of scurrying around, filing papers. And this very stern-looking, yellow-skinned tiefling woman, short cropped hair, wearing a pantsuit, but it has armor underneath, so it's very bulky and ill-fitting. She's like wearing full plate and has a pantsuit over it.
Tarbek's gonna go, oh, she's stylish.
And she has...
Well, she's trying.
That's the height of dwarven fashion.
Well, dwarves are trying.
Got you there.
Oh, crap.
Tarbek says nothing.
Okay. Is there art? I don't. Or, well, there's not art of this lady like that. But okay. So,
I mean, there's no official art of awkward pantsuit lady?
no, shockingly, no. It's really disappointing, and I think WotC needs to include it in their next book. Just in case I need that. Okay. Okay.
There's a free supplement.
Pantsuit.
Download it as a PDF.
Pantsuit Devil Lawyer.
Devilry Clinton.
Okay. She just like doesn't even pretend to notice you. And devils start to fill in behind you in the galley. I don't remember what it's called. The area behind you all where people sit.
Oh, good, great.
Is there anything you all would like to do?
Navira is just a picture of stoicism right now. She has not said anything or hardly even moved since they teleported here, and it's just mask of stern calm.
Okay. A pit fiend walks into the courtroom and asks everyone to rise for Judge Asmodeus.
Like a full-on giant pit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Big wings. Giant mace.
Oh, that's intimidating.
Is he dressed as a bailiff?
He is dressed as... He's got a little uniform on. Little badge.
Baylor, bailiff. No, wait, Baylor is a demon. Don't tell anyone I said that.
I almost made that mistake earlier, too. I made sure to Google it before we started. It's like Baylors are demons.
You mean the things that are 90% the same thing can be confused as each other? Nonsense.
And that 10% they've been fighting about for hundreds of years.
No!
Only hundreds.
Been an on and off thing for a lot longer, but last 100 years have been really rough.
Okay. And indeed, everyone rises. If you all would like to rise, that's up to you.
Sure.
Tarbek hates everything these people stand for, but is a stickler for rules, so we'll rise.
It's only polite. And yeah,
Yes, be polite.
Yeah, I'm good.
A 14-foot tall devil man
Show off.
walks in wearing decadent red robes with a bunch of symbols embroidered all over them. A big like epaulette collar thing. Holding a ruby staff. He's got like normal, ram or not, like normal like tiefling horns kind of going around the front. These really big horns that wrap around the back of his head. And in this art, for some reason, he's making a skull float. So he's making a skull float in his one hand. He walks in and he says, everyone sit down.
She doesn't say it, but she certainly thinks to herself, oh, Lord of overcompensating.
Just rests his giant ruby staff. Just where everyone can see it. Just so everyone knows. This is mine. He says, today we are here to settle some matters that have been floating in the hells for a long time. The fate of Navira, the consequences for her actions. He kind of looks at the jury box and he says, I would normally summon a jury of your peers, but truly you are peerless in the things you have done.
And Arthur recused himself because of a conflict of interest.
He looks down at you, Navira, and he says, how do you plead?
What are the charges?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. What exactly are we charging you for here? I want to hear it from his mouth.
He says, "You have broken your oath to Zariel, and as such you have broken your oath to me. You have murdered Zariel,
Me.
and you have murdered Tiamat, whom was my
Not
guest in the first
under
layer
your-
of hell."
Yes, it's a
Well,
strong
still, would
word.
other gods really be under your jurisdiction?
He says,
Because that's sort of an equal thing. So that would be rude, but I don't know if it would be illegal.
he said, he says, there are other lesser crimes. Some things I find personally offensive but aren't illegal in our eyes. The disposal of a god spark is just wasteful. But there's nothing wrong with it. How then do you plead?
Does it matter?
He looks around and he says, "Of course it matters. This
Are
is
you
not
sure?
some kangaroo court. I wouldn't waste all of our time."
You see, I don't think you're wasting our time. But the truth is, you've summoned me here to a court that wouldn't normally be held for crimes such as mine, to put me in front of a jury of no one, which isn't how courts are supposed to work. So I am subject to you and you alone, and I know for a fact that you have already decided, so I'll ask again, does it matter?
By the way, I've cast tongues on everyone here so everyone can understand what everyone's saying.
Okay, perfect.
Wait.
He says, "It matters to me what you say."
If it matters to you what I say, then I will not deny any of the charges that you put against me. What I will deny is that they were wrong in some way. What I will deny is that I am subject to you and your laws in any way anymore. The truth is, I have been free from the hells for years now. Assuming that's how long it's been. It's been quite a while.
It's been like 3 months.
Or
Yeah.
yeah, for several months now, and it is only now that you have decided to come after me. The truth is, you could have dispatched whoever you wanted to kill me the moment I broke my oath, and yet you decided I was inconsequential enough to let me go. And then I killed Zariel. So I guess now I'm consequential enough? But also, it could be argued that I was only consequential enough when I had the guard spark, of which I do not have anymore. Why am I here?
Lots of murmuring from all the devils behind you. The prosecution kind of glaring at you. They haven't said anything yet, obviously, but
Oh, it is an absolute just stare down back.
Our goal is this by the book.
he kind of it's like, well, usually there's not so much arguing with the judge.
Do you want to give her some advice?
No, she's doing great.
Am
I don't know. I think you are, but
I think you are.
At this point, Gayle will use her medallion of detect thoughts to detect thoughts.
what? Why'd you get that?
I've had it since we were at the since we got rid of the back at the spooky house with the 20th level wizard.
So 40 episodes ago.
Yeah.
Oh, that is an ass grab, and I love it.
Okay.
Do it.
Okay, so you cast detect thoughts. Whose thoughts do you want to read?
I think we all know who's thoughts.
Asmodeus.
Yeah, okay. Well, he gets a save. Hold on.
Wisdom 13 according to D&D Beyond.
Yeah, he's going to
Please.
succeed. But
Please fail. Please
Aw.
fail.
but you can read his surface thoughts, and just he's enjoying this in a way that you don't think maybe you expected, because he looks mad. Like, he looks like he's not enjoying this, but his surface thoughts are like, yes, this is what I wanted.
Fuck.
To all of that, Navira, he will say, when Zariel failed to deal with you, that was her problem. Until you indeed pruned Zariel from her position, then it did indeed become my problem.
Well, if she was such a problem, then me pruning her from her position would be a solution. Would it not?
Which brings us back to all of this. Yes. Do you know there's a specific punishment I have in mind for your actions, although some may call it a promotion.
Oh, I wasn't afraid he'd say that.
Yeah, I saw that one coming.
He says, there are consequences to your actions. Kind of gesturing around the courtroom like that's what this is. And he says, you have killed the Lord of the First, proving yourself her superior in many ways, defeating Tiamat, which I'm still not happy about. There was a beneficial arrangement to her imprisonment. And if you had left the God Spark, I would have been less upset. But you showed such initiative that we need to defeat these demons, Navira. You know that. You know that this is what it's all about. Winning the blood war. Gayle, with tech thoughts still up, after he says winning the blood war, he thinks remaking the multiverse in my image. He doesn't say that, but he does think it.
He thinks it.
He thinks it. And real loud. Like, you don't have to dig deep. He says, there's a whole court thing we can still do. I can still work out something else. Work out a punishment. Bring up a bunch of stuff from your past that we don't have to relive. Navira, you broke your oath to Zariel, and yet you still draw on such power. You defeated Tiamat. You defeated Imix. So many others. You defeated Shemeshka. There are countless evidences, almost like 58 episodes, of you just murdering people.
He did do 100 damage that one
Through
time.
your own power of self-belief. And turning your back on the only life you ever knew. But now, Imagine what you could do with the power the first would give you. You can do whatever you want there. I can't interfere once you are appointed. Well, I can't directly interfere. Otherwise, I will summon a jury, and we will continue with this totally legitimate trial. Objection. Overruled. I'm so handsome. No.
I have a question.
Sure.
I just want to make sure, 100% sure, Asmodeus. So you called me here under the pretense of a trial for my supposed wrongdoings
Uh-huh.
to offer me the first.
Well, I was really going to play it by ear. It depended on how things were going. And you came at me. You stood up for yourself? So if you were going to come in here and just accept punishment or hire some dwarven lawyer, angel lawyer, and let him do all the talking, yes, I would have punished you.
So is this a job interview?
Yes, in a way.
Didn't expect that.
All right, so
You have references right here.
I did just say she did 100 damage that one time.
it's interesting to me that you praise me for coming at you, for showing initiative, for doing all of these things that you mentioned, and yet expected me to still say yes, because all of these things that you have mentioned, all of these things that I did supposedly for power or for gaining anything or for winning, did you not watch me give up the Godspark? What could be any more proof that I am not after power? What, you want someone like me running the first? You want someone who gave up your entire shtick of murder and power and exploitation for them. And she gestures to TFU.
So,
What I found here in these three, my family, is I value infinitely more than anything you could ever give me. And that includes my own power. So if you think I would be a good Lord of the First, well, I hope your armies like found family.
Tarbek thinks that's touching, but Daniel can't get the idea of like all the devils being. We found just all found family stories.
I'm just sitting there. Don't cry. Don't cry. Do not cry
Gayle.
in front of the Lord of Evil.
You have a rep to maintain, Cole?
Gayle
Gayle.
will whisper to Kaw, it's like, could she theoretically take the up and then give it to somebody that Asmodeus absolutely hates?
Could name a successor, yes.
But then wouldn't we have to kill her?
No.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know how the succession works.
There's another Lord of the First in this room. They're not dead. You don't have to die to get replaced.
Belle is probably fine.
Yeah,
Belle around?
Belle looks mad because that's my job.
So, can Gayle tap on Navira's shoulder and just sort of whisper that to her?
Asmodeus, can we take a brief
As an
recess?
option.
I'll allow it.
All right. Huddle.
Huddle.
talk, can you cast silence real quick?
Yeah, but then we wouldn't be able to talk to each other.
Oh, right.
Ah,
Speak.
does measures have a
Oh,
group function?
I casted tongues. We can speak any language. We're speaking gibberish. Let's go
Got
with
it.
that. Just only the four of us understand this language.
Okay.
I'm speaking it real quietly.
Gayle, make your pitch.
So, hear me out. You accept the job on the condition that you can name your successor. And then you immediately name someone that that Asmodeus absolutely can't stand. Like that one just worst devil in the world. Like you don't invite him to parties or anything. And then you give the job to that guy and we all go home.
It's not a bad idea.
Thank you.
I
Is
mean,
resigning a thing that you can do?
is it?
Job, and as my first act as this job, I give the job to them.
I submit my 2 weeks notice.
Spent my 2 seconds notice. Time up.
Yeah, hell has to be an at-will employment state. You know, they don't
Absolutely.
For sure.
As someone who lives in an at-will employment state, yeah.
Stars are bright, deep in the heart of Avernus.
Stars are very much not bright.
Stars are dark, it's always night, deep in the heart of Avernus. Just had to workshop it.
There we go.
Good. It's good.
Would you like to say anything else in your recess, or?
Navira doesn't
I mean, do we have-
necessarily. She thinks the idea is good, but she also doesn't think it's not her style. She doesn't think it's gonna work. At least personally, I personally think it would be really funny. Just like in that one post, that like one Twitter thread of the guy who was a new hire who fixed a bug in the system and then submitted his 2-week notice like immediately. Like that's essentially what she'd be doing. But yeah, she right now Navira's mindset is very much of like, I am going to get out of this in a way that is completely free and clear, like no strings attached. They aren't gonna mess with me anymore, and that seems like very much a way to piss even more people off. Like we have a long list of just extraplanar deidal enemies already, and we don't need the entire 9 hells after us anymore. I'd like.
to be fair,
Did kind of cut that
One of
list
them's-
in half.
yep.
Plus, she just gave that whole spiel, and I don't think it's what's give her the job anymore.
Oh, and I'll take the job. I will take the job. In fact, no.
So yeah, as good of an idea as Navira thinks it is. She's
Well, look, if you can prove... So how do we prove that you did not do the crimes you were accused of?
we can't.
think
I
that's the
did.
point.
I most assuredly killed both Tiamat and Zariel in a very unapologetic way.
Morkel will lean over and put his hand over the microphone so he can whisper to you. He says, could you argue that while you were the one... No, this argument doesn't make sense. You were the one who killed Zariel, but you couldn't do it without the God Spark. So isn't it really Tiamat's fault?
That is an angle. The angle.
People
Tell me if there's a
don't kill people. Guns kill people, I think is my
God
argument.
sparks kill people.
Yeah.
Tell me if this has any bearing. Technically, in the Hells, killing your superior in an active trial by combat is not illegal.
It's not murder, really.
And it is murder, but it is
No,
not.
it's a job review.
Yeah, it's
Really
very much.
common.
It is a clear ladder of. It's clear ways to move up in the company.
Asmodeus Incorporated.
Yeah, there you go. And Tiamat was a prisoner. Extrajudicial killings of prisoners in the Hells is not all that uncommon. So I would argue that what I did weren't crimes. I was acting as a devil who was stronger than everyone else around her and acted accordingly.
And to be fair with Tiamat, you were under contract to kill her, so it wasn't like you just went in and murdered her for funsies. You were under contract, which I hear is a big thing in the Hells.
So.
Really, we should have Raceland on trial and not you.
Oh, absolutely, we should have Raceland on trial.
Who is this Raceland guy, and why are we gonna throw him under the bus?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Shitty wizard. He was the one who wanted to kill Tiamat.
Yeah, remember when we had our spa day ruined? He was there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, it's so bad to throw someone under the. Yeah, go ahead.
If it makes you feel any better, Tarbek, I did make him piss his pants with my god powers. So that if that has any legal bearing, you think that was my legal foundation that I was going in here with. The job offer was unexpected and very much unappreciated.
It's hard pass. Okay. He says, I mean, it's certainly worth it. That all makes sense to me as a legal defense. I've never seen Asmodeus offer someone a job in the middle of a trial. So we are in fresh territory here, folks.
It's classic devil subterfuge and Asmodean theatrics.
He does
devil bullshit.
Devil bullshit.
Devil bullshit,
as we call it in the biz. Okay. So, okay, we're on time. Asmodeus reconvenes, and he says, Navira, I can see that I've offended you.
You think?
That was obviously not my intent. I think highly of you. I think highly of so few people, even the people who work directly for me. Really, I don't like many of them. I don't think I particularly like you either. But I respect you.
The feeling is mutual, I assure you. Not mutual on that. But yes, the not liking is mutual.
So he says, that's fine. And I understand you are unlikely to take this job. We will continue.
I don't know if you've heard, but I've made an absolute killing in wrestling.
Interesting. I mean, I think it's all fake, right? Am I wrong?
That suplex I did most assuredly was not fake.
She beat up a robot.
So, kind of nods. Huh. Starts to think, maybe I could make a wrestling league. I'm basically Vince McMahon. It's fine.
You're about as evil.
Yeah. Might be a
See,
little
is the
less.
Blood
even.
War really necessary when you could have WrestleMania?
Oh, that would be really entertaining, actually. It's super heretical,
Actually.
but really entertaining.
Asmodeus really stares off
Blood
into the
War
distance.
Mania.
Blood War Mania.
Oh, that's a good name, too.
Asmodeus gets up and leaves.
We did it, guys!
He goes to the patent office next door to file some trademarks.
Well, that's that. Word of recall. Let's go home.
Okay, you're just gonna get the Burke skull out and...
Yeah, peace. Next campaign, though, Blood War Mania.
Oh yeah.
You have a perfect character for it.
Your next barbarian was an ex-Blood War Mania fighter.
Awesome.
Ex-Blood War Mania star turned Hollywood superstar.
There you go.
There we go. Okay. Boy, I can't even remember what I was gonna say. Because now
Too good of an
I'm just
idea.
thinking about that now. Okay, hold on.
What would their name be? Something like the Boulder.
Focus, Andy. Focus. Fuck. Oh, okay. So Asmodeus kind of snaps back to attention. He says, "We'll discuss the consequences then of your actions, as you know."
Irania's the Rock Johnson. Got it.
He'll say, there, of course, as you know, will be consequences. I can't be made to look like an idiot. I think you knew that. So then the first remains, the position remains vacant. Do you have any suggestions?
Burke's gonna, like, look to Bell, and then look back, and then look to Bell again, and then look back.
Tara's gonna cover Tarbek's eyes and just be like, "It's your hells.
Bell's fixing
I'm
his...
done with it."
He says, but surely you all have a vested interest in demons not being everywhere.
You've been fighting this war for how many years now?
A long time.
And
Going
how
so
much
well for
ground
you.
have each of you gained in that time? Just for the record.
Neutral.
That's what I
It's
thought.
yeah, it's a wash basically. He says, but
No further comments.
kind of looks at Bell. Bell's like fixing his tie, like.
They're like a... What is the beef there? I have to know.
Navira's like, "I'll explain it to you later."
Okay.
Dissipator's freaking out in the corner. No, that was on the stream. Never mind. Dissipator has appeared in a Hat and Verse campaign. He's very paranoid. Ow.
There's number 2.
Oh,
Phooey. Okay.
At least it wasn't mid monologue this time.
No, thankfully. Let's get tech issues. Oh, that was quick.
Hello.
Hello.
Whoa.
hi.
Let me turn my camera on. It turns my camera off every time it does this.
It's
which is
weird.
awesome.
Okay. So Asmodeus says, well then, I have been rebuked and I understand. He says, I will simply find another more ruthless to fill the position. Your heart clearly isn't in it, and it's a job you have to love.
I'm sure.
think that's a compliment
He
coming from Asmodeus.
He doesn't have any more kids to nepotism his way into their jobs.
Make some. You are literally a devil.
Nah, the last
Like,
one didn't
snap your
turn out great.
fingers. Okay,
She's not my favorite.
So make one that's your favorite.
Man, you'd think it would be easy, but it's not.
Or hold like actual job interviews.
But no, sham courts. That's the way you hire people.
You're not going to find the best candidate. This takes way too long. It's a lot of effort.
Boy,
It's very theatric.
It's just going right over my head.
To be fair,
14
they
feet
thought
tall.
they had the best candidate.
I don't know why you thought you were going to say yes. You said no to everybody else. Okay, he will say, well then, the issue of killing Zariel and Tiamat. Why did you feel you had to kill Tiamat? That's the one I'm a little confused on.
I was contractually obligated to. Sure, you can.
From who?
Why did I just forget his name?
Raceland.
Raceland. I had it. Raceland.
Raceland.
I'm sure you know. Shitty wizard.
Yeah, he keeps trying to take over the world.
I prevented him from doing that, by the way, so once again, you are welcome.
Damn it. Damn me.
Yuri, take note of that.
There is a stenographer, just little
Curious,
bone
what is a
devil.
stenographer? I was hoping it would be like a different type of devil. Is the typewriter also made of bones?
It's just all bones, and they're like fused to the floor. Okay.
You have to understand that I did not kill Zariel out of malice to her, or you, or anyone in the Hells. I did it because it was my job.
Zariel or Tiamat?
Or Tiamat, sorry.
But you killed Zariel in some sort of preemptive self-defense.
I killed Zariel because I was stronger than her. And I had the opportunity, so I took it.
That is... And yet... You don't think you have what it takes. Or not that. Not that. You don't think that you live these values still.
I didn't kill Zariel because I wanted some fucked up form of power. I did it because she hurt me. And she hurt everyone else. And by removing her, that ended. At least for me. And that is why I have killed Shemeshka and Inix and all of the others, because they hurt people that I loved. And so now they are gone. You continue to fundamentally misunderstand me, and that is why you will never keep me.
Don't cry in Devil Court.
No crying in baseball. There's no crying in Hell Court either.
He looks around. He snaps his fingers, and all of the devils behind you disappear. He looks at the prosecution, who have obviously done nothing, and he says, "I could have you fight them." What's the?
Do you honestly think they'd win?
Hey, no. Go. Just go.
before we do that, I want it in writing that you have no claim on my soul, that you are not the administrator of consequences for me, and that you will not come after me or my family ever. If devils are so beholden to contracts, then I am offering to make you one.
She can do that. She was a god for a little bit, so you know.
Yeah, he will flip his wrist and conjure a contract, flip his other wrist and send you a long quill. The contract floats to you, and he says, and in return you will not...
Leave gracefully.
Yes. And hopefully never return.
Have our lawyer look over that
Hopefully.
real quick.
Oh yeah, it is 100%.
Yeah. Hey, Markle.
Yeah. Morkel takes it, activates True Sight, kind of looks at Asmodeus and crosses something out, and Asmodeus is like, fine. It's a bunch of stuff written in invisible ink all over it, like...
Oh yeah, I have an amulet that lets me see through illusion spells. Let's take a peer at that.
Yeah, you can also see there's some invisible writing that Morkel is just crossing out, like, no.
Thank you, Moradin.
Navira's gonna look at Asmodeus and be like, for the record, this is why we brought the dwarven lawyer.
And kind of grumbles.
You're lucky I'm not a priest of Tyr, otherwise we'd be here for twice as long.
Kind of points at Navira. It's funny because, never mind.
Oh yeah, that she was pretending to. Anyways.
But yeah, Morkel looks over it, slides it over for you to sign.
I do. And I stare him down while he does so too.
Did you just annoy Asmodeus into letting you go?
Fuck yeah, I did!
Don't cry in Devil Court. I don't care how proud you are of your daughter. Don't cry in Devil Court. We cry after Devil Court.
Used trickery on the devil.
Asmodeus signs. He heavily sighs, and he says, well, this has been a fun indulgence to be reunited, but you win some, you lose some. Although, I don't think you lose much lately, Navira.
That's the idea. Maybe you should take notes.
He says, maybe I should.
Stand up.
Mm-hmm.
Turn around. Walk out.
Okay. The rest of TFU, what would you like to do?
Follow Navira and leave.
Okay.
Have a word of recall ready to go. Let me know when you want.
As we're leaving, Gayle's just gonna go, like, turn around and do TFU out. And just back out.
Water try.
Before they go...
Water try.
Before they go, though, Tarbek will say to Morkel, you know, I bet if you helped Bell with his case, it would really annoy Asmodeus.
He says, I'll have to check with Moradin. I don't know how we stand on implementing devil lords. It would annoy him, though.
That's true. Hey, look, just a suggestion. You don't have to. If there's like some greater implications that I don't, you know, I'm losing my accent as I spend more time on the surface. It's really weird.
No, that happens. That's why all of the angel dwarves and everyone else talks like this.
That makes a lot of sense. You guys are way up there if you think about it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that eye kind of comes from like
eyes.
sand in. It comes from sand in your eyes.
Yeah.
I think it does. I really do think it does.
Also, how are you now? I forgot to ask. All the dwarves are supposed to start every sentence or every conversation with "How are you now?"
Doing all right now.
Not too bad. Okay.
Tarbek will just wave goodbye uneasily and then just run out on his stubby little dwarven
Okay.
legs.
Kaw casts a word of recall, and you appear in the basement.
Jumbled up inside Kaw's wagon.
Oh, yes, it's in the wagon. Okay. And you reappear cramped in Kaw's wagon.
Navira's gonna take a big, deep breath in and then just scream.
Okay, you also have Kaw wrapped around you crying, because, like, proud.
Navira's like just holding on and just like this is like several decades worth of angst being released kind of all at once because there is like a physical burden of no longer having any strings to the hells literally dragging you down. And so now that like through some miracle of law and devil bullshit, she's free and clear for the first time literally in her life. And so she's just So yeah, she's also crying.
Yeah, just doing a big old group hug in the wagon, sobbing. I don't know if Birdsong's still out there.
Always.
Probably,
Yeah.
but very confused as to why it's suddenly really loud in that wagon.
Wow. Can't believe you really tied up all the arcs.
Can't believe that fucking worked.
See,
I
I
was
can...
very
Navira,
nice. Oh, go ahead, Tarbek.
Navira, I can believe it worked because you did it.
You see, I was 99% sure he was going to smite me on the spot the minute I opened my mouth, but
I think he just decided it wasn't worth the trouble. Which, honestly, boring someone, using trickery to bore someone until they just don't want to smite you, very much a valid tactic.
Proud.
It also is very much Kaw's domain.
I have some offerings to some gods I need to make. Hey Tarbek, what is Morden like? Whatever the fuck it is, I'll buy it.
Honestly, if you just, like, a big, like raw iron, like if you just drop an ingot into a fire in a Morden temple, he's gonna be a fan of that.
Done.
Not even an ingot, just like some ore.
It's very... Morden is like, he's the person who's very easy to shop for.
You have this unrefined rock. Sure you'll make something out of it.
For my rock collection, thanks!
He turns
Say
them
that
into
as-
he turns them into other dwarves.
Say that as someone who that totally works on.
If at some point in the future, I will probably wrap this up a little closer in time, but at some point in the future, Navira is going to visit the temple to Ale, and she's going to leave the temple a generous donation, monetary donation, as well as a copy of the contract she signed with Asmodeus, just as a little token for Ale, given that he's a propensive for rules and all. He might appreciate that. Also as witness. Just like insurance. And just in case.
Perfect.
Hey, you have a copy of this. No reason. You might think it's neat, and
Gonna CC him on that email.
Well, it gives him another precedent he can abuse to fuck with the gods. I don't know, is god law common law? Is it based on precedent?
Probably. or on whatever Ed Greenwood says. When you do drop off the contract, Navira, the priest says, oh, we have something for you actually, and hands you a rolled up piece of canvas.
Oh. All right, I unfurl that.
And it is a painting. You can see the manor behind you, the Gayle and her uncles, you, Tarbek, all of his wards in front of you, Kaw, her parents, the birdsong and wind chime, and it is signed a friend.
I drop a little bit more money into that donation. I clap the priest on the shoulder, very much choking back tears, like, thank you. And then I leave and run home immediately to show everyone.
Aww.
Oh, it's everyone! It's like a found family painting.
Through my portraits of the family, this is going over the mantle. It's going in the good painting spot.
You can go all around them.
I mean, we have a big house.
Yeah.
You have like
Big
4
mantle.
fireplaces.
Old school gallery art wall.
I'm gonna make a copy, tintype, and then stick that over the other fireplaces.
Put it in your wallet.
Yes. Perfect.
Okay. Well, would anyone else like to say or do anything? Otherwise, we'll wrap it up there. Gayle.
I would. After about a week or so, Gayle will go to Navira and be like, "Hey, Navira, you want to get like dinner sometime?"
Yeah,
Are you serious?
do
Yeah.
it!
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Mightily sailing into the different distance.
Finally. Jeez.
I love it.
Slowest
heart.
burn ever.
To be fair, it's only been like 6 months, and Navira was going through some stuff through that. Gayle did not
oh,
like
yeah.
put that on
Very
her.
fair, honestly. Like actually a
Up
pretty
writing a
reasonable
letter.
time frame.
Call looks up from writing a letter to Mistress. Get it!
Fucking love it. Absolutely perfect. Okay. Okay. Be cool, Andy.
Don't cry in Devil Court.
A long campaign, guys.
Anyone else before we wrap up this episode?
This episode or like
let's talk about that in 1 second.
okay. Tarbek is going to Tarbek is going to start packing his things. Because he's not ready to tell the rest of the group this yet, but he has a job and responsibility, and he needs to go back to Glorum. But for now, it's a day of celebration, and he's going to break the news to everyone tomorrow.
he'll come back to visit.
Of course, obviously, and I have sending, so like.
Oh, it's
not a big
definitely one
deal.
of those situations where, like, the next day Tarbek goes to leave. Kaw's wagon is outside waiting for him.
Of course, obviously.
Like, of course you have to go back, but like, you're not going alone.
Why did you think we wouldn't be coming with you?
I know she just wants to see Mistress again, but the rest of you, thank you so much.
I have been called out. I'm not a fan of this. Mr. Cinderbeard, you are walking. Mostly because this isn't a riding wagon. You knew that.
Tarbek will animate the wagon, or not the wagon. He'll animate something next. He'll animate just like a plank of wood and like ski on it too. What am I saying?
Are you telling me that Tarbek fucking skateboards next to the wagon?
Yes, I'm telling you exactly that. And his hair, what's left of his hair is like flowing in the distance.
Oh, good callback to
Fucking
Surfer Dude
sick.
Tarbek.
Just like the old days. And then like in the distance, there's like a picture of just like Tarbek, but like young and ripped with like a surfing trophy.
Hawkeye.
Okay. So, I mean, that's a pretty great ending. If you all would like, we can do one more episode to wrap things up. Otherwise, that ended with a neat little bow. If this would like to be the possible final episode of Task Force Unlikely.
I almost don't know what else I'd add. It was such a great finale.
Holy shit.
It's just tough to process. We've been
now
doing this for 3 years.
I'm gonna cry again. I did because I thought we had more time. But
Damn.
Please, anyone, if they would like to add anything, talk as long as you would like or as little as you would like for the remainder of this. I have one thing to add at the very end. That is a epilogue, and but yeah, the city of Waterdeep is well protected in the hands of Task Force Unlikely, even though they're leaving for now.
We have the Burke skull. It's fine.
Yeah. And Tarbek's nephews and nieces.
The next
They're like
generation of adventurers.
Like the beta version or the spin-off show of Task Force Unlikely. It's good, but doesn't quite get as great ratings.
It's got a really solid first season. It hits the ground running, but yeah, it's the second season villain's really weird and not very good. I'm talking about Korra. It's okay. I like Korra. I like the whole series. I'm not trying to shit on it, but that second season makes no sense.
If we want to go in the normal order and maybe do a little epilogue for each character along with our plugs.
That sounds great. Tarbek.
So Tarbek, after returning to Glorum, does more or less hang up the adventuring life for good. He does occasionally go out with Kaw and Mizris and the rest of Task Force Unlikely on, little side missions, but by and large, he is now a homebody. But Tarbek is very happy with himself, and at the end of the day, he has kind of accomplished everything he felt he needed to do in his life, and dwarves live a very long time, and Tarbek, until his last breath, never stops working, because if there's anything he loves doing, it's working, because he even if he's creating new challenges for himself, he's always trying to create these sort of grand works of architecture, all these beautiful and wondrous creations in Gauntlgrim, all coming with the Tarbek Tough guarantee to last for 1,000+ years. Tarbek's cousin Gwendolyn and nephew Domhall take over the Waterdavian arms and armoring business and kind of do a little spin-off brand, with the Tarbek Tough armor polish and such. And Dernier eventually, Tarbek eventually starts to train Dernier to succeed him, although Dernier does eventually pursue an adventuring life of his own, and Tarbek retires very happily. And he's always available for someone to visit.
Gayle.
Gayle does expand her uncle's business. I don't think she fully gives up the adventuring life. Like, she does enjoy causing bits of trouble here and there. So, and she'll, depending on how much Navira wants to go, she'll stay with Navira or go wherever she goes to.
Kaw.
Mine might be the most bittersweet. Make me go last.
Navira.
Wherever Task Force Unlikely is and wherever Gayle is where Navira is. And yeah, she is the continued brawn, just big, strong beefling for as long as we're thinking. She starts promoting the big, strong lifestyle of just no matter who you are or what you do, you can be strong. And yeah, and she does still adventuring, still do adventuring, and she does it with Gayle too. So yeah, she is free of her burdens, and she's gonna live her life like that.
Kaw.
So,
Jay.
Yep.
Jay's about to make us all cry, I know.
A little bit. So Kaw continues to travel. She goes up to Glorum, her big loop where she visits everyone, for about the next 30 years. And then everyone else continues to go on throughout their lives very happily. And a box shows up on Glorum, and there's a letter in it with instructions about how to turn a set of hollow bones into a wind chime. And Kaw wants you to take this wind chime and hang it somewhere. Everyone can hear it. Because she leaves first, but she still loves all of you.
Tarbek, upon reading this, doesn't know how to react. He understood this day would come eventually. It is perhaps the sad fate of all dwarves to outlive the people that they love the most. Tarbek builds a mausoleum as high up as he can, and a set of winding steps. And on the door of the mausoleum is the inscription. You may rely on it as we relied on you. Fuck you, Jay.
I've been
Fuck
thinking
you,
about this
Dan.
for years, and I've been sad every time. Because I knew it would happen.
Oh man.
Now you made me cry right as I ran out of tissues. Fuck.
The worst thing is, I was prepared for this. I had something pre-written.
Ugh.
It's this beautiful mausoleum on top of a mountain. Monks and clerics go to it when they want to, be one with the divine energies and really experience true divination. And at night, you can hear the wind chimes that are hanging in the temple echo all throughout Glorum and all throughout the mountain.
Yep. Okay.
And there's a little horseshoe that used to be bird songs hanging right outside the door, right with the wind chimes. Okay.
If I could add on to that, I think Gayle, as one last little joke, would create a lock for the mausoleum on a door that doesn't lead to anywhere. It's just not even a closet. It's just a door that's in there. It's like a solid wall on the other side that has just a smiley face on it, on the wall.
That's so Gayle. Oy.
Everyone, I think we told an okay story.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I didn't want to think about it, but yeah, no. All the different D&D races live different amounts of time.
Yep.
I think Gayle might be immortal. I haven't thought about it yet.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm still a half elf.
She's at least very long lived.
Guys, we did a great job here. It was amazing playing with you all for 3 years. My soul hurts now.
Oh, but it's a good hurt.
It is a good hurt. It's very cathartic.
Just bang up work, everybody. Just so fucking good. Obviously, all of the NPCs visit. Mistress is a constant in your life, not only because of being Tarbek's sister, but because of Kaw. Narshinda visits often, and is especially heartbroken at the mausoleum, and will often go up there and be quiet, which is not something Narshinda does often. I'm trying to think of other NPCs. Clarence, the little sprite, stays with Gayle forever unless she leaves the prime material plane. That's all I can think of right now.
Who was the Mensa Zenadier matron? I don't remember.
Oh, she has a very successful acting career.
Oh, thank goodness.
Sick.
She really took Gayle's notes to heart and turned it around, and is now on Under Broadway. And it's she's really has a good, solid career. As a slight epilogue to the events of this episode, in hell, we cut to hell, the 9th layer. Asmodeus is brooding. with a slight smile on his face, because he knows when he got. It kind of makes him happy when somebody can keep him on his toes a little bit. And a tiny tiefling woman approaches and says, "I hear you have a job opening."
Oh, Andy!
Hi, Lou.
Andy.
I was sincere when I said I thought we would have more time, but this was the perfect ending. And I love all of you, my players. Thank you for doing this with me. Thank you for contributing everything you did to this amazing story. It would literally be nothing without you. It would just be nothing.
No, you.
Not okay after the Moss thing.
We will continue to play. We will be starting a new campaign. So continue to follow this space. That's all I have to say about that. Thank you. Thank you again. Outros. Dan.
I have to go first after that?
You do. You're in the top box.
I'm always the one who has to go first. I don't have anything I can really say. This was a beautiful campaign. It was one of the longest I've ever been in, and I no disrespect to Bar Crawl, but I feel as though I have improved my own play so much, and that it's really stark. And I have you all to thank for how much I've improved my writing and my public speaking skills. It's just, thank you all so much for this experience. Just not only the personal growth it's given me, but all the amazing friendships I've made along the way. I plug friendship. And doing this is apparently my thing.
Liz.
Oh no, I can't go after plugging friendship.
Also plug friendship.
Yeah.
It's not an exhaustive thing.
Okay, then I also plug friendship because this is actually the longest D&D campaign I've been in. Like I started this as I was starting to play D&D regularly, so this is probably my main group, or no, this is my main group because all the other ones I haven't been in long, or like it falls apart. But it's like you found a good group of people, and even though we don't have like a lot of followers or people who watch us, I'm doing this because I like playing with all you guys, and I'll keep playing with all you guys.
Jay.
Be gay, do crimes. Make your friends cry with heartfelt stories.
Just really went for the jugular right at the end there, didn't you?
I thought about
Yeah.
it like a year and a half ago of, oh shit, all of Kaw's friends are going to outlive her.
Yeah, you don't even want them to see the stuff I have written for Gayle and Navira. That's
Not today, I
Did you
don't.
write
We've
fan
had no
fiction about it?
We're good.
Later.
Oh, we're dead.
Later. We'll talk about it later.
I'm actually gonna live to like 350, at least.
Yeah, well, there's at least like another 30, 40 years before the next one. We got time.
Awesome. Yeah, so in 40 years, y'all are gonna cry again. I'll be 64.
Mira.
Navira was a very special character to me, and I loved playing her. She was the first combat-focused character that I had, and I made the most of it. And her story would absolutely not what it was without everyone who played along with me. So play D&D with your friends. Play D&D with your friends because they will make you cry on camera, Jay. God.
I do.
Yeah, play D&D with your friends. It's worth it.
I regret nothing.
No one should regret anything. I'll echo what everyone absolutely said. Play D&D with your friends. Create the nicest being. Create a disaster child. Create some garbage elf. Create some trash halfling. Do whatever you want. Make the sweetest lion man you can. Just have fun with your friends, telling stories.
And adopt every orphan.
Adopt every orphan. And as Mira said a couple episodes ago, and I thought was particularly poignant, stories have meanings because they end. And that's what makes them stories. So, though this one ends, another one will begin. So, yeah. Keep watching this space. And as Liz said, we don't have that many followers, and it doesn't matter because this is for us.
Yeah.
First and foremost. So, have a great night, everybody, and thank you for everything.